Hey, it's Monica Shilay. I am on a mission to help women embrace their beauty inside and out, to live a more confident and fulfilled life. That is my goal, and the whole thing that I do is really focused on that. And today we're going to focus on the inside because this is our third episode of Living Authentically. So I'm really excited to bring to you some really interesting information. So let me ask you a question. Do you know what happiness feels like? Not just what it looks like, but what it actually feels like. Because I'm here to tell you I do. And I have 3 strategies or 3 specific behaviors, and we're going to discuss those today. But before we do that, I want to do this exercise, and I really want you to think about this. Do you know the definition of happiness? Like, let's define it a little bit. Let's flush it out. Everybody thinks, oh, it's smiles, it's this, it's white picket fence, it's 2.5 kids and a dog. And let's really drill into that. Okay, so for me, it's about safety. It's about contentment. It's about joy, real fulfilling joy. Happiness, I read somewhere, is long-lasting and more stable than pleasure. So think about that as we talk about these three behaviors. Let's just keep that in mind, that you're looking for the feeling that is stable and long-lasting, and much more so than just pleasure. Okay, so the first thing that I think is vital in order to have a life of happiness and success is to truly define what that is for you. Success and happiness are very individual. Mine has the component of safety, and that speaks to my past. You may not need that. That may never have been an issue for you. So you need to kind of look at that. There is John Stoffish. I'll get to that information, the name. But there's a quote from him that I really like, and it is, "Being everything to everyone means that you're nothing for yourself." Okay, so you can be a good and kind person, but always do self-care. And part of that is actually defining what your level of happiness and success is and what that'll feel like, what that'll look like. If you don't define that, society will be more than happy to define it for you. And now you wind up with keeping up with the Joneses. You find out that you have to have 2.5 cars, and you have to have a mansion, and you have to have this or that. And that's really not going to give you happiness, all right? It'll give you feeling like you fall short. Compare-itis. You'll never find the sense of contentment that we all yearn for. That's a real big component of happiness, is feeling content. That doesn't mean stagnant. That doesn't mean that you're not reaching for more. But content with where you are is a really big deal. And so if society dictates your level of happiness and success, you generally wind up with that negative, all those negative emotions of compare-itis, less than, incapable, incompetent, whatever those are for you. So you want to define it for yourself, and it's going to look different than everybody else's potentially. All right. And it should reflect what you need to have joy and happiness and success. Okay. So the first strategy or first specific behavior is to define your success and your happiness, because when you have a goal, you can reach for it. When you don't have a goal, you're kind of rudderless. So definitely, define that for yourself. Number 2 is to live in a state of gratitude. When you take time to sit down and write 3 things a day that you're grateful for, and each day has to be different and what have you, the bottom line is it actually has a physical response. Your blood pressure lowers, your serotonins are released, things of that nature really do happen within your body when you live in a state of gratitude. There is an attitude change or altitude of your attitude change. And that is that you are reminded of the things that you have accomplished, that you have acquired, that you have as blessings and good things in your life. And it grounds you with contentment. It doesn't mean you don't keep reaching. It just means that you can be grateful and content with what you have. So that's really important. So one, define your happiness and success and what that feels like and looks like. Number two is to live in a state of gratitude. And number three is to hold your thoughts captive. This is huge because when bad and negative thoughts come to you, they're there to steal and destroy. Now, this is a biblical process as well, but it works secularly as well. I used that twice, sorry. But when you hold your thoughts captive, what does that mean? That means when a negative thought comes in, you reframe or rewrite the narrative, all right? So what does that look like? So for me, it's, I don't know if I can build this business. I don't know that anybody's listening to me. I don't have comments. I'm just really not, I probably shouldn't do this. Real story, true story. I have those thoughts and I have to reframe them all the time. And so my reframe looks like this. I'm so excited that I'm able to develop and grow, learn and change myself. And bottom line is I will build this business authentically and people will come. And that's what I say to myself, is that I'm being authentic. I'm sharing stuff that matters to me. I'm looking to impact women and I'm doing that. I do have clients. I do have customers. I am successful, but not as successful as I'd like it to be. So you just have to reframe the narrative. So let me give you another one. You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I didn't sleep well. My body aches. I don't want an adult today. Let me tell you, that's kind of an everyday thing for me. So I have to reframe that. It's like, I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity to still breathe. I am up. I can do whatever life throws at me today. I can manage it because I managed yesterday. No joke. I say that to myself because the bottom line is it doesn't matter what comes at me. I've been through so much and there's so many crazy things that have happened that, I have 100% success rate at surviving each day. And so do you. I want to thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I am so happy, like I said, to share authentically with you and to really hopefully add value. If you receive value, please let me know by leaving a comment with your number one takeaway. Also, if you share this video with others, please let me know so that I can give you a shout out because I love to reward those people who share my content because that helps my business. And I want to remind you that at the end of the 5 episodes, there will be a PDF that is available. So it's going to kind of cull together all of these tips and tricks and information that I have about living authentically. I'm really excited to share that with you. So if you leave the word more below, I will be more than happy to get that out to you. So remember, to have happiness, 3 specific behaviors define your happiness and your success. Make sure that you live in a state of gratitude and hold your thoughts captive because that's the way to be successful in your happiness and designing your life. All right. It's been great hanging out with you. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you next time. Bye now.